All right, welcome back to Thrones Be the Game. The fellas are back in the building. We are on episode 9. It is going down in the realm of Westeros. Let's jump in first. I'm gonna go with you first, Pruitt. Your thoughts on episode 9?
Okay. The penultimate episode of Game of Thrones usually is always a banger. I don't necessarily think this episode fully lived up to that, but I thought it was good. I'd give it probably 7.5 out of 10. There are a couple storylines why I understand why they did it. I think they kind of dragged them on a little bit longer, and I do like that the writers put a lot of thought into stuff like Helena's prophecy to give us a couple different meanings, to give people who read the books a misdirection. And so I really appreciated that. I really liked, I did have some questions, and maybe we'll go into more detail as we break through the story, but this was the first episode where there wasn't a time skip. This is the next day from the last episode. Well, Daemon and Rhaenyra were noticeably gone, but I don't know how they had time to be that completely removed from King's Landing from when they all had dinner. They just packed up and just left that night. You know what I'm saying? Like they
left immediately. They left it before she even took her husband to bed. I mean, well, he was already in bed before she went to go see the husband. After they had that little bang out situation,
right?
They dipped. They went back to Dragonstone.
Yeah, okay. You got to think of it like the way, like if a situation was where where a brother or sister stays with their brother that's kind of sick. I'm also gonna post up here for a little bit where Rhaenyra is staying. Like on some, like, let me just make sure everything is cool, and I'll be back. I'm gonna go back home after I figure out what's going on with him.
I mean, that's fine. I can live with that. I kind of figured that's where they're going with it. But for me,
she even dropped on her that she was leaving. She was like, I'm go home. I'm taking the kids home because the kids have been in the fight. It's one of the last scenes after dinner. Right. And then the queen was like, "Be back soon," and she was like, "I will be." So like they did. Like the fight happened. She like, "I'm getting my kids out of here for some crazy shit happened again. I'm dropping them off." She was supposed to be coming back in like 3 days. What's the play?
All right, that's fair enough then. But yeah, other than that, like I said, we'll break down scene by scene. But those are kind of just my initial snap thoughts on the episode.
All right, what about you, Sleep?
This is one of them episodes where I think they tried to give the book some kind of service a little bit, at least the moving the story of like letting us see the angst in Aemond a little bit more because he's got that second son. I'm really should be king type of situation.
Dude, I literally sat there asleep like after that, and I sat there literally thinking about everybody in Westeros and thinking about everybody's second born. Like, all right, and then I was like, dang, you're on to something, because I was like, well, Jon Snow's a second. I was like, nah, Bran. Like, he's the second son.
Yeah, we can't count Jon Snow, know.
So it'd be Bran, and we know how he got down.
Yeah. So, but he has trained the hardest when it comes to fighting. He's learned all the laws. He's learned all the things that you would have to do to handle yourself in court. He has the biggest dragon. I mean, he listed the things himself. He's like, I got the biggest dragon. I know old Valyrian. Like if anybody was like ready right now to be put on the throne, out of those, between him and his even between Rhaenyra's kids, it's him. Like he ready to go, and people fear him too. And he would not be Aemond the peaceful. No.
Hey, look, Warren would be taking over by now. Sleep. He'd be like, we got to get going.
Yeah. Oh, everybody get your dragons. Fuck it. We flying out. Like he own that. Like
I'm tired of them motherfuckers bullshitting. We need to go ahead and holler at them.
Yeah. So I thought that was nice. Just watching, and it was a lot of that between brothers. Between Eric and Eric, the two brothers that went.
That's a dope name for some twins on the low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was just a lot of just singing. It showed really how broken the realm is, this episode. Like the realm is really split. Even brothers.
Right.
Twins.
Twins, were split. It wasn't action-packed per se, but it definitely had the Game of Thrones type of vibe to it, or I won't say Song of Ice and Fire / Dance of the Dragons vibe to it, because it really ain't, when the fighting happens, it happens, but it's a whole lot of world building typically in the books. And this just showed you really how inept Aegon is. Aegon, he's just like his father. He doesn't want to be king. His father didn't want to be king either. It was forced on him. In a similar situation, it's being forced on him. So they humanized the the queen a little bit too much.
Yeah, man. Yes. That's where I want to start off there.
They're making her a tragic hero or like a villain that you got to like. They want the fans to be split. They want people to like the Greens too, because she's not her father. At least when it comes to the TV show, her father is cutthroat.
But in the book, she's super cunning.
Exactly. Yeah. They've softened her up, because in the books, everybody for the most part, if you read the books, you team black. Like you like the Greens, like the fuck. But they have done a good job of making her likable. Even her stepping in front of the dragon. What the fuck you finna do? It's a fucking dragon. Like stepping in front of her son is some old sympathetic ass shit. But I get it. Because that's the only way that it makes sense for Rhaenys to fly away. I'm not gonna wipe out your whole family. I'm a mother. All of my children are dead. It would be horrible for me to kill you and all of your children too. I won't be the one to do that. Like I get why they did it. It made like I can, as a father, I can wrap my head around that. They planted the seeds earlier when she dropped by the crib, her room, and was like, "Your daughter's dead. Your son is a cuckold." Like she was wilding out, but like I don't like that they've made her so sympathetic.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because I'll reserve my ultimate judgment, but I fear, because I've seen them do this in other shows, not these particular writers, but in other shows, that the villainy in female characters are always due to some trauma they've sustained from a man. Like one of the scene that irritated me the most in that regard was when she has that after she gets Aegon and she's talking to her father Otto, and she goes, "Well, I don't know who I am. I was just some piece you moved around." He goes, "Well, if that's the case, I made you Queen of 7 Kingdoms. Would you not want that?" And she goes, "Well, I don't know." What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what else are you qualified to do, first thing? And what other job would you go, I could take this job or I could be Queen of the 7 Kingdoms? Like, in this world, the entire game is she would have had to marry somebody, right? She would have had to marry somebody and pop out some kids. That was just her lot in life. Men, women, all of them do it. Those big houses, the whole game is, how do we strengthen our house by combining with another house? So he gave her literally the best suit, the best single guy in the nation. Like, what else did you want? Like, what would have been the alternative? Was she going to be? She's going to be a seamstress? Oh, I may have been happier just as a seamstress. You know, what are you talking about? Like, you had to marry somebody. He got you the best guy, the best single bachelor in the world.
Yeah. I mean, she'd have been set up pretty nice no matter what, but she was set up nice. I mean, her father at the time was the hand of the king, so she wasn't gonna marry no fucking barber or no baker or no shit. Like, she was gonna be all right, no matter where the fuck he skipped off to. She was gonna marry a highborn person because he ain't got no sons. But he put her in position to marry the highest shit you can be with. Hey. Now, is it okay to feel manipulated a little bit? I think it's okay to feel a little manipulated. You're like, Dad, I thought you was doing this for me. You're really doing this shit for you. Like, it wasn't for her. Like, he's doing this shit for himself, for the family name. All of this shit is about the family name. It's never really about the person getting the spot.
You are completely entitled, my friends, to make decisions on my behalf that ends up with me royalty, even if you benefit from it. Even if you personally benefit from it. If the end result is I wind up being royalty, feel free to make that call on my behalf.
But now we see the split in their family starting, where she like, hey, don't listen to your grandfather, you listen to me, and fuck what he talking about. Even to the point where they both sent out separate lookers, like, because if Grandpa would have got Aegon, they'd have been on the way to kill Rhaenys before they did this coronation shit.
So you think that Otto looked at it and was like, Aemond's better, like that's a better look for us?
I know I ain't gonna say Aemond per se, but if they couldn't find his ass, he either gave it right to Aemond.
Who up
But,
next?
like it would have been a straight. She would have grieved and wanted to have a funeral, or let's go find him. Maybe he sells the Pintos. Otto would have been like, Aemond's next. Give it to Aemond, and she got another son too. He away studying.
It was like Damien or something, or what was his name? It begins with a D. The fourth
I forgot
son.
what he's.
It's Darren.
He and Pintos or Bravo some damn word because he's studying. So typically, the first son's supposed to be like the heir. The second son don't be around too because he a motherfucker. That third son either goes to the wall, becomes a septon, or like he does some other shit where he cannot
Be
be
in
with his
line for the
brother.
crown.
Yeah. So that the third brother gets shipped off somewhere. Like that's how it go. So I believe he's in either Pintos or Bravo studying. In the books he was at least. He'll be back eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about kind of the moves of Otto here in this, particularly when we get to the council meeting after he dies? He's already sitting pieces in play like anybody who all know, and they put everybody in jail that even knew that the king died.
So that, I mean, the problem I have with, and this is not unique to this series or even Game of Thrones, it always irritates me when the people who are higher up, they're not required to follow the edict of the person that they report to. So none of them, the small council, none of them are acting on the king's behalf. They're acting as if they can get what they want, despite the king's explicit orders that Rhaenyra is his heir. But then they expect unquestioning compliance report to them. And it's so frustrating. Like, I know it happens to other shows. I know they do it great tension, but it's like the nerve of you. Like we're sitting in here talking about, everyone's mentioning it. We're talking about treason here. We're talking about, taking away the king's stated intention, people who've already bent the knee to Rhaenyra. We're just talking about undoing it because you didn't agree that was the right call. Yet you were commanding me as if your command to me is greater than the king's command to you. And it always drives me crazy when I see that happen.
Man, this is the funniest part to me. Even when Alicent went to her father and was like, "This is what he said," that nigga was like, he didn't even believe that shit. Like, wait a minute.
So he's like, I can't even swing this. Like, I can't even
get people. No. Like, I mean, this is what I want anyway. But he was like, "Are you quit fucking playing?"
He was like, we was gonna change this shit up anyway. We don't need this lie. Like, we don't need this anyway.
This bullshit lie you throwing out there really don't. We don't need that. But she's like, "No, I'm serious. I promise." And she was so hurt and appalled that they had been planning without her. You've been planning this without me? Yes, motherfucker.
But in the books, though, she was a part of the plan. She was mad in the books because she just wasn't a part of the plan, not because they were planning for this. She was like, "Why do y'all ain't tell me y'all was doing this? I would have been down."
They did stick to the book a little bit with her being upset and not being a part of the plan, but she was upset just because she was like, "I can't believe you guys did that. That you went against my husband." They made her love her husband.
Like, just because I wasn't a part of it, like, why you ain't put me in, Pete?
Yeah.
Let me know. I would have helped you out with this. We'd have killed this nigga 3 months ago.
yeah. She would have definitely, But this is a nicer Alicent. This Alicent ain't the one from the books. Like she not. She really was upset. Like, I can't believe you guys were doing this.
What's the old guy name who's like, I'm 6 and 70 years old and I knew him longer than anyone in this room. I really liked the
one
death
that bitch and Cole killed.
Yeah. I really like the death they gave him because he held them all to task, and even they showed him kind of slipping and not necessarily being as sharp in previous episodes, but in this one he was like, no. It was kind of like the same thing that happened to Viserys. It was like in the end we really saw who his character was and what he believed in, and what were his what his principles were. And I really liked. I didn't like to see him die, but I understood it. But I really like to see that him to get that little nice send off toward the end.
Yeah, he was an actual friend to Viserys, and out of all of them, probably actually respected Viserys. Mm-hmm. Viserys never was supposed to be king, and that was thrust upon him. And when you just everybody been given some shit they didn't think that they was gonna get a promotion, or you look up into some shit. and either some motherfuckers fumble it for real, or some motherfuckers, they do all right. The series in the big scheme of things was all right. Wasn't no big wars other than the crab eater. Like and they called the peaceful. He was called the peaceful. He really wasn't fucking with the people for real too much. When Daemon did the MAGA shit, they got Daemon the fuck up out of there. Like, hold on, you're doing a lot. Like he, for the most part, he was Jimmy Carter. Like Jimmy Carter didn't really accomplish shit.
Damn.
But everybody loved Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter didn't do shit, but even Republicans, when Jimmy Carter bring his ass out, tottering around, be like, it's fucking Jimmy shit. Like no one really hated Viserys. He's not hated by anybody. He was just mad. Like so it's dude, watching him, that was a really good scene because he stood up on that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't think he thought he would die for it, but he stood up on it.
Right.
So like the idea, like what is the? Can I remember the other knights? The head of the Knights Guard. He was like, "Hold on. We letting people just kill people in meetings and all kind of stuff, and like with no complications. I'm taking this cloak off, dog. I'm out."
Hey, but he wanted to kill Cole. Truth be told,
he was on. He was ready.
I didn't like
that. He probably been tired of his ass for a long time. No sleep. He probably been watching him do because he knew he killed Larian's lover. Like he was probably been seeing all this slick shit have been doing for a long time. He's like, "Oh, I got you now. You didn't kill the doggone council member. I can actually have a reason to kill your ass. Like we good. We got you."
That was a weird scene because initially he pulls his sword out and tells Cole take his cape off, and brings his sword. Then Cole brings his sword out, and then they kind of just let it go. Like they both put their weapons up, and it's like, well, you just gonna give him a pass on it? Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, that's the queen's the shit. He in the queen pocket, so if he tried to kill him and the queen like chill out, put your knife away, he wanted Cole to not put the knife away and actually bang.
Yeah,
if they would have got into a sword fight, he could just take him off the board right there. He also knows that the new king can replace his ass. So he like, shit, I'm probably getting replaced anyway.
I didn't even think about that. You like, my job is already like it's turnover happening in the office.
But I'm not gonna do no extra shit for y'all before you fire me either. They was like, get your knights and drive the Dragonstone. He's like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm gonna come back and get fired. As soon as I get back, y'all might kill my ass.
If I make it back.
Yeah. So he's like, fuck it. I'm out. I'm walking out the room. I'm not gonna be a part of this plan and shit. When y'all decide or whatever the fuck happened, if y'all keep me on, cool. If y'all don't, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I get it. And that what they asked him, that just run over the Dragonstone real quick and murder Daemon and Rhaenyra. That's a much heavier lift than what they made it seem like. like that was a much heavier lift.
Like they told him to run to the store.
Dragons with them shit. What they gonna send? They don't have that many dragons with them in King's Landing.
They wasn't gonna send any Targaryens. He was just gonna take the King's Guard. That's what they would take 12 other King's Guard and ride out.
So they would only have at best 3, right? They would have Aegon's, Aemond's.
No, he's saying that they ain't even try to dispatch no dragons.
They weren't even dispatching the dragons.
Oh yeah, that was an L.
No,
and they only got 3. They only have three.
Yeah, they only got 3. That's what I was saying. Like, so I mean, because they were trying to steal Rhaenys's dragon too. But so Daemon has one. His oldest and young, the Valerian kids, the strong boys, they both have one. Rhaenyra has one, and at this point in time, doesn't Daemon and Rhaenyra have a kid?
Yeah, he's got one.
And he's got one. So they at least, I mean, they may not have necessarily 4 competent riders, but they at least have 4.
No, they got more than that because his 2 daughters have. Well, the one daughter that live with him has one too.
Yeah,
I'm about to say. The oldest boy got one that was supposed to be king. He got a dragon. Who? The one who was next in line? Well, not,
that's what he said. He counted that. He counted them.
Okay. no, yeah, they dragoned up, but nobody got the big ass dragon though.
Yeah, nobody got Vagar. That's the
nobody
problem.
got like Vagar taking out 3 dragons by itself. Like
These
Vagar
are all LeBron James at 18 trying to go up against David Robinson in his prime.
I get that. That's what
I wouldn't even say David Robinson. Let's say they all Kenny Smiths.
But that's what I have a problem understanding. How much bigger is he than
Vagar is over almost 100. Vagar is 100 some years old.
But I mean, how they translate this to twice as big, 3 times as big?
4 times.
Oh, like 4 times. Okay. I didn't realize.
Did we see Rhaenys dragon? The queen that never was.
It's an average.
She got an average size fucking dragon. Like that dragon ain't small. It ain't that big.
But it ain't Vagar.
And that motherfucker was huge.
So think about how big Vagar is then, dog.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize he was 4 times as big. I didn't know if he was like 30% bigger.
It's a girl. Vagar's a girl too, man.
Oh yeah.
But it's one motherfucker. Well, they showed if you saw the preview, it's one hidden ass dragon still out there though. It's one dragon that's a little bigger than Vagar. that can punk Vagar. And guess who the fuck know where he at? David has been plotting on that nigga for years. I know where he at. I'm gonna go get him eventually.
He over there singing songs. He over there singing lullabies and Valyrian.
Hey, he's gonna be the first dragon rider with trying to be the first dragon rider with 2 before Danny was.
Yeah. Now my man said, but he know where a lot of shit is. He know where like extra egg hatcheries is and shit. Like, like Daemon, he seemed like he don't know what the fuck going on when it comes to like the court and shit. When it comes to like running the kingdom, but when it comes to like, if I have to fuck some shit up, I can fuck it up. He know where some shit at. So
and honestly, I was thinking about Daemon. Technically, probably would have been the best king as long as he had a good hand. I think if your hand is really running the kingdom, if you can just be a strong motherfucker to come around and slap motherfuckers every now and then, and you can ride out on your dragon and show force, your hand can do the administrative shit. Truth be told, in the real world, Daemon would have been probably great for the. He would have been a law and justice. It's so funny because he seems so fucking lawless, but when he was in charge of them fucking gold cloaks, he was cracking shit down. He was fucking. So I mean, he would have. It's really weird. He's gonna do as I say, not as I do, motherfucker. So I'm pretty sure he'd have had shit running real streamlined. Because what's crazy,
flea bottom, he would have did all that flea bottom stuff.
Shit got even worse after Daemon got fired. They got little kids fighting and shit. Like, yeah. Let's get into Aegon, the search for Aegon. With that, so Aegon is not being found. He's out in the street, just out there. And the thing is, though, if this is all the next day or day or two, Prue, it's funny that you said that. Like the next morning,
he snuck out from his family's dinner to go to whorehouses and hang out for like and just get high and drunk like a crackhead would do and just be posted up and I'm just here.
Right. Immediately.
Like,
are we done? Are we done? Holla.
But what's crazy, as soon as it became whispers that his father was dead, this nigga was hiding. He was trying to get out. He wanted to get out of town. He did not want to be king, like at all.
You know those cousins that go over to your people's house on Thanksgiving that can't wait to finish eating and smoke. Like that's how Aegon did it when that dinner was over. Like he hit him like where they go? Oh man, they went to walk around the neighborhood. It's 12 degrees outside, man. They'll be back. That's what they went straight forward.
So everybody knows that he be dipping. Yeah. his Kingsguard, they was alluding to already that he has bastards in there sitting over in the spot. We saw one of his bastards today. Yeah, or not today, but in the episode.
Which one do you think? Do you think that's the one?
That gold-haired kid, the damn Kingsguard nigga was like, that's the son over there.
But you know the one I'm talking about. You think that's who that was?
You know what? I don't know. Okay. I didn't get to see this nigga mouth. If his teeth have been filed, because apparently his bastards be fighting and shit in the fight pits, which is crazy than the motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, I want to get in that though. That's what I was going to go to though. That is great. Like, so are they basically all his bastards?
I don't know if all of them are, but a lot of them are.
Yeah.
From
And
this
he go and watch his
random
kids fight. And he go and watch them fight and shit.
Which is different.
He on some Joffrey shit now. Like,
That was exactly I was thinking. I was like, bro, that's different.
Because that wouldn't have been happening if the Gold Cloaks was here, right? If the Gold Cloaks was in the full
if
mode.
Damon was in charge, he'd cut that shit off a long time ago.
They want to let that ride.
Yeah.
Not with no Targaryen kids, not with no kids that look like Targaryens. No.
Especially like his bastard, what would that be? Bastard grand or great nephews or whatever, and nieces. Yeah, he wouldn't have been with that. Only motherfucker he want to kill for real probably Aemond. That's his family. he waiting for that. He like let Aemond get a little more seasoned a little bit before he come to me.
Yeah, he got to go up the rankings, the boxing rankings. He got to go up the. I can't fight him while he's number 8 ranked. I got to let him get up to the number 1 rank.
He like let this motherfucker kill a few more people and really get some seasoning. He like I done fought the crab eater. You know, Damon is a motherfucker. Like Damon,
he's been out there fighting over in Essos and over in Pintos. He's been everywhere just fighting random people.
Yeah, he just outside living. He like Aemond is still protected. He got bitch ass colder. And, you know, his mama the queen. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with Aemond for real. Like Aemond the motherfucker that, I fight the best talent, but he ain't really fighting for real. They gotta hold back because he the queen's son.
Yeah, he ain't got his blade wet yet.
Yeah.
He ain't got his blade wet yet.
Anybody he beating up is smaller than him or ain't fighting hard anyway. They're like, I can't beat him. If I beat him, nigga, he might come kill me in my sleep type of shit. So let me hold like. Now again, he got this big ass dragon, so I ain't saying he no bitch because he's not. He got the big ass. If you got a bazooka and I got a 22, nigga, I'm not finna fight. I'm not finna say shit to you. Right, you good? Like, you ain't got to hit. You ain't got to hit me to kill me. If that shit just blow up next to me, I'm dead. Like you ain't got to have good aim or nothing. You got big shit.
Do you think Aemond has killed anybody at this point in the story?
In real life, I mean, in book life, no. I mean, they in King's Landing, and it's a time of peace. So he hasn't been to war or nothing like that. Now he on the yard, he whooping everybody. On the sword yard, he beating Kingsguard now. Like this nigga, he different.
Yeah.
But on the Kingsguard holding back, I don't know. Bitch ass Cole not, but he a bitch ass. So we not gonna. He the nigga that went to one war and killed somebody. So he's more seasoned than everybody else. I had to think about that. Christian Cole went to one war, one tour, and came back, and nobody else that went to war. So he big shit. But if he would have went against, say, some Valerians, who all these niggas do is fight. All them niggas been doing is going and protecting Driftmark. Christian Cole would have got his ass whooped.
Do you think Christian Cole could have beat Corlys' son?
I don't even think he was beating the gay son.
Okay.
The gay son been in some real battles.
Yeah, no, he was all about it. No, he was all about blade work.
He was about to go to war just so he could smash when he felt like it, without hiding it. He's like, I'd rather go fight than be here. You a wild motherfucker, you want to go to war just to fuck. Like, I can fuck the sailors. Wait a minute, big dog.
You missed a lot of off ramps, big dog. Before that.
Wait a minute, that's extreme as hell. He like, but shit, I know how to use this sword, so.
So, what did y'all think about the Kristen Cole and Aemond search, like their conversations on the route through? Does Bitchton Cole see like, damn, like this motherfucker right here? He think he really wanted. He's openly like, that should be my spot.
Oh, he gonna definitely tell the queen at some point. I guarantee it. He's snitching.
Yeah.
Like they did ask Aemond was going had Cole not been there, Aemond would have let Aegon run.
Oh, if Christian Cole would have been there, he'd have took his ass to the boat.
Yeah, he was gone.
He'd have took him to the boat. Hey, bro, let's go. You know what? Cool.
You're right. You don't need the crown.
Let me cut your hair real quick so I can say you've been killed, and I can make it look like you died.
And so we got to talk about it because Helena, her other prophecy. So the one came true about the beast under the boards, but then when the kids are playing, she goes, "Well, that's the way of siblings, right?" Like something like one always takes what the other one has, or always wants what the other one has. And so it's funny because to Sleep's theory about second sons, it goes for each component of the first son versus the second son, but then also the relationship between the blacks and the greens. And so I think it's going to play out. I think it's going to play out as a larger theme throughout, particularly, maybe not so much next episode, but definitely through next season. But it also plays out, more immediately between Aegon and Aemond, right there in that same episode, and then largely Aegon, taken from what was Rhaenyra, with his coronation, and they were trying to take Rhaenys's dragon. So you actually could argue it played out 3 different ways in that episode.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of symbolism in this episode. A lot of they told us what was going to happen very early, and then we got to watch it happen in, I guess, real time. We got to watch parts of that prophecy sprout. I think they've done a really good job of. I'm gonna do this. It's very hard to stick 100% to the book, just because everything does not translate to TV. Right. It just does not. Everything that happens in the fantasy novel, when you try to put all that shit on TV, it just doesn't work. And they got to romanticize it because it's not, again, traditionally fantasy readers are male, typically white male, actually. Mm-hmm. But they're trying to they want a wide array of people to watch this show. They want black people watching it. They want women watching it. They want some of everything. I don't think you could have had Alicent be a super bitch, because then women wouldn't even like her. But now she's a sympathetic mother.
But was Cersei ever sympathetic though?
She wasn't.
Cersei, before she went full on crazy, yeah.
Okay.
When they were at war, and the fleet was coming in, and they thought that King's Landing was going to get taken, and she had the poison ready because she didn't want her kids to be murdered and raped, and she was going to give everybody poison. That's some, because she knew what happened when the Targaryens got taken out.
Yeah,
they murdered and tortured and did them horribly. There are plenty of people in the Seven Kingdoms that hated Cersei. She they finna come in this motherfucker and run trains on me. It's not. I'm gonna die before I let that happen. I will die before I let them do that to me.
And also, when they made her walk through the streets of King's Landing,
that shame shit.
That was. It's hard. It would be hard not to sympathize with her. After that, because that kind of made her more of a real person. I'll say one thing about Alicent. This is me. I thought that Otto gave her a perfect excuse in the first. No, I guess it was maybe the second episode. Because it's like the beef between her and Rhaenyra has gotten so big over the years. She could have a legitimate concern for her children's life if Rhaenyra comes to take power of the throne, and then possibly someone challenges how legitimate it is because she's a woman, and Rhaenyra may be forced to either put their kids in on the wall or something like that, or maybe even kill them. That I thought was enough motivation for her to make the decisions that she had. Plus, Viserys did say that statement about Aegon. We know that's not what he meant, but like we said last week, she heard what she wanted to hear. So her being a panicky mother, her wanting that for her son in any way, and then also her, hearing him give some hope to what she ultimately wanted happening. I didn't necessarily think that she needed additional motivation in order to really be, really want Aegon to ascend to the Iron Throne. So I thought it was a kind of a cop out again to make it like, oh well, she's doing this because she has to get back at her father and all this other stuff. It's like, she can just have the same motivations. Everything. It's a power. She's the queen consort right now. It's like she's gonna lose that spot. Now instead of her losing that spot, not having any real authority, she can go to be queen mother of both the queen consort and the king. She gets to live her life still. It's not a bad deal for her.
Yeah, she fuck around and be on the council now. Because I don't like it, but I understand it. Like I get they want a wide swathe of people to like the show. And I hate to say it, Game of Thrones, pretty much everybody hated the Lannisters. It was pretty much everybody was against them fan wise. Exactly. This one, there are a lot of Greens. There are a lot of people who are Team Alicent. Like a lot. Like way more than I thought it would be. And I think it's because her character is so sympathetic.
Well, I was asked to say this, though, Sleep. From the books, man, I think this is more interesting because the books are set up like, because it's more historical and more like, this is like hearsay more than like this happened. So like you got some stories from Mushroom that say, oh yeah, you know, they was fucking in the back of the church. And then, and it may not even happen. And then you have the High Maester, I forgot his name, that is the official writer of the book of it, saying that this happened. And then you see that these are kind of stories that some of them aren't factual, and some of them are like some exaggerations are, oh wow, Mushroom was right. She was messing with Kristen Cole. Or
and that's why I really like the TV show, because it does read like it's like reading the Bible. The Bible is somebody remembered something, wrote it down, or we don't know who wrote it down. This is like seeing what really happened. Yep. And some of what's in the book is happening, and then some other things that aren't in the book are happening, and the differences aren't that big. You know, it's not. Yes, Corliss's brother gets killed. He dies way different in the book, but the way he died in the TV show, I was like, shit, this is fantastic. I'm cool with this.
I mean, Damon still killed him in the book, so it's not like the same person didn't kill him.
Yes, it's just how he got killed was different. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what?
But it made it more practical. Like, but you could see if someone else told a story that they could have made that and variated that over time, that it looks like it went down another way than it did.
Oh yeah, just like Rhaenys didn't really kill her husband. He fled.
Yep.
But she wanted everybody to think that he was dead.
But everybody thinks that he's dead.
Yeah. So if someone wrote the book, the word in the street says that this nigga's dead.
Right.
But in reality,
and his lover killed him.
Yeah. But in reality, that didn't happen. So this book is not written like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is written like a novel with dialogue and all type of shit. Whereas, I guess, what is it, Fire to the Dragon? I forgot what the book is called at this point. I'm about to call it House of the Dragon.
But that's written like a history text.
It's written like you reading a social studies book. Like it's written like that.
There we go. That's a great example. That's exactly what it is.
It's written as
like Game of Thrones feels like a first-hand account. It's Fire and Blood or Fire and
Blood. Thank you.
Yeah, that reads like it's a third party talking about something they may or may have heard of or known or seen or heard of.
Yeah, and it'll even tell you at some point, like, here, Mushroom said this happened, but we cannot confirm. Like, I'm like, oh, this shit.
Or that Maester dude, the other dude, will be like, that didn't happen at all. Like, that's not, or he'll give a totally different account.
Yeah.
So, like in the books, like there was 3 different reasons that Rhaenys and Kristen Cole fell out. Like there was like 3 different reasons you didn't know. It's very definitive. You know why in this story, which is dope.
Yes,
like
story.
You didn't know. You was like, why did he bitch up on her? Well, Mushroom said they messed around. The Maester said that it's because it was his honor. But the thing was, both of them are true, and to a certain extent, depending on who's looking at the individual person. Like
correct.
If the Maester only talked to Kristen Cole, like, man, you know, my honor was everything. If Mushroom knew and saw them hooking up, he'd be like, well, I saw them hooking up.
Yes. Also, I'm skipping a scene. Yeah, Alicent ain't as fucking pristine as she want to be.
Oh, with the foot game.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, bro.
That wasn't in the books at all.
No, that was not in the books. That fucked me up. I was like, wait a minute, what is this?
You know what? I kind of thought that was bad, man, because that was like stereotypical of the dude that's got the club foot that's kind of out there bad. He's got to be super creepy. Like, it'd have been different if it was somebody like Damon, like somebody you would have thought had been creepy, and they had like a foot fetish on the back end. But it's almost like the twiddling mustache villain. Of course he would like have a foot fetish.
Hey, listen, man. Other than him becoming the head of his house, I'm like, what the fuck is he getting out of this? I've been thinking this the whole time. Like once I became head of my house, I would just been like, I'm good. But like he's actively still doing shit.
Low key, do you think he's a eunuch?
I'm saying, it's such a, that's such a,
Impotent,
such a small
eunuch
price.
or impotent?
No, he jacked off in the scene. Like he pulling it out.
Yeah.
But I'm
with the
saying,
scene.
but impotent mean like that's the way. Like I can't get off except for this. Like that's it.
I mean,
I don't think.
I'm not gonna,
I just think it's the same.
I'm not gonna kink shame. That's just his kink. Like he just like that's his kink, and he know he can't smash her, so he like, hey, my man worked. He bartered this, but they've been doing it for a while. Obviously, she don't even like doing this shit for real. She be like, again. He be like, I got some news for you. Like,
and he like, you know what it is.
You know what you got to do.
But that information that he provided her is so much more valuable than when he's getting off. I'm saying like he could go to, with his position, he could go to a brothel. He could just find some of the maidens around King's Landing and have like 10 of them in the room and nobody could really say anything. It's like you getting personal favors from the queen, particularly when the king is incapacitated and you're wasting it to rub it off a little bit. Come on, bro.
So
he's not the first, and he won't be the last.
So it's that he could get that from anywhere, but I'm the second son. I ain't supposed to have shit. If I'm gonna look at some feet, I'm looking at the top feet. Like if I'm gonna look at some feet, I want the feet that can't nobody look at. Ain't nobody looking at them feet but him and maybe Christian Cole. And I don't even think Christian Cole is in this TV show. Cole not even hitting. Yeah. Like
I don't think so either.
I think he'll hit it though. I do think he'll hit it though.
I mean, eventually, I think so. I think he definitely gonna sell you that cloak again, because he's definitely in love with her. I mean, he killed that old nigga. You will not sully her name, or like, he an old nigga talking about this boy that just died. Like, I think you should give him a little bit of rope. But nah, I mean, that was trifling. He wasn't even talking about the
queen. He was talking about the Richmond Small Council.
Yeah. He wasn't true. He wasn't even talking about what he insinuated that we don't know who killed the king. I think that's the part.
Yeah, he was saying like, but in the books, didn't they kind of insinuate that? If I remember, didn't the Maester insinuate that it was a possibility that
he was poisoned?
Yeah, but she kind of was feeding that poppy extra, like go and drink up, G, go and keep drinking.
So listen, it's one of those situations where she might not even try to kill this nigga, but he overdosed. She just gave too much milk of the poppy.
And it goes back to the book where someone else that is an outside person would see like, oh, you made him overdose. You know you want him to die for your son could be king. You killed him on purpose.
Yeah. But she was crying a little bit too hard the next morning. So I'm like, no, she didn't do that shit on purpose. She's like crying by herself. I'm like, ain't nobody even in the room. So
yeah, it wasn't no point for her to be
I mean, they didn't let this old nigga get this old, half his face was gone. If you gonna let half this nigga face go away, you might as well just ride it out until you die. Clearly, they could have killed him 20 years ago with nobody had said shit.
Yeah, he was
what was her fast? Why was she crying? Like, because she didn't like having sex with him, but we saw that. Like, what was about him that she like felt like this was to me, she never felt like she gave a fuck like that.
That's the only nigga she done been with for the last whatever years. And that was her first too. That's her first and the only nigga she done been with, other than Jack off.
Last her only.
And he didn't treat her badly. I mean, she wasn't necessarily as in love with him as she maybe wanted to be, but he didn't treat her poorly. I mean, he cared for her. He gave her children. He treated her with care and honor. I mean, he quite honestly, he should have used his pimp hand a little bit stronger. Just some of the stuff she did. She snatched his blade off of him, cut his daughter, and she didn't really pay no punishment. Like
true.
She was a little out of pocket, and he let that Jack walk.
I think she was fond of him. I mean, she grew to not be attracted to that nigga, but she was popping kids out like crazy at first. But this nigga, imagine you with a nigga and his arm fall off one day, or a woman. You date a woman, and y'all smashing the shit, and then the next time y'all smash, her whole arm gone. Like, you gonna be like, what the fuck did I get myself into? And after a couple of months, y'all still smashing, and half this nigga face gone. He got a gold mask on. Like, you gonna be like, what the fuck did I get myself into? So they were married for hellas too. people fall out of love all the
Yeah.
time. That don't mean she didn't like that nigga no more. Like, she didn't go to bed thinking he was dying. She went to bed like, I'm gonna talk to this nigga in the morning. And then the handmaiden came in like we went to give him the milk of the poppy at 3 like we normally do, and that nigga was not breathing.
And to be clear, too, I mean, this is maybe more book Alicent than this. This series Alicent, but she probably realized that what he told her was okay, only be verified by her, and it would be seen with some type of skepticism if she told anyone else. So, you know, she believed that he was talking about Aegon. We know had he lived, he would have clarified that he wasn't. But in her mind, she goes, "Oh, he finally gave me what I wanted," you know, because maybe he saw what happened at the dinner or whatever it was, and then now there's no one else to co-sign that he gave me what I wanted. So now it looks like I'm just conveniently saying this to everyone. So that probably played a part of it too with her tears.
But you know what's so fucked up?
It's like you said, I don't even believe her. I was like,
before this nigga left the dinner, he straight up said Rhaenys will be like, what made you think this nigga changed? He wasn't even in there for the fight. What made you think this nigga went and laid down and was like, you know what? I gave this big ass speech, but I changed my mind. Like, she heard what she wanted to hear. She like y'all said, because just like 2 hours ago, he dead ass was like, I think that's a great idea. And Damon's daughters will marry you guys, and everything's gonna be all right. And like,
right.
And then she was, it was just dumb. But you hear what you want to hear. Doesn't Rhaenys have a daughter named a son named Aegon too? What's the new baby name?
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, he's Aegon the Third.
The new baby's name is Aegon. The baby she introduced.
Right, because he
could have been talking about that nigga Aegon. She just made it be her Aegon. Yeah. Rhaenys does have a son named Aegon.
Yeah.
He could have
been he's 10, 11 years old. He's her first with Daemon.
Yes. He named him after so I'm like, you could have literally been like, Rhaenys will be, you know, if he had a dream, this is a dream. Rhaenys will be queen, and then her son Aegon will be king down the line. Because the other sons may die. Like, she just heard what she wanted. Yeah. And ran with it. And
so what do you think about the Rhaenyra with the dragon? That was some fly shit, the way they played that up. You know, that was definitely a book change of her, the way she went and grabbed her dragon and was like, it's almost like one of the things like the auntie, like, I see y'all, and you ain't gonna stop me from letting them know what's up. So y'all move.
I'm going to snitch right now. I just wanted to scare y'all first.
Yeah. And one thing is, like, and I love all our people that, you know, that haven't read anything or do anything, like, man, she said that you're curious and do that would have made it would have been you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't, right, Sleep?
It'd be over. Old girl would have just came and been queen. Like,
yeah, but no, I mean, I'm just saying, like the way you hold the realm at that point, not later on, how everything, because everything's gonna go to shit. But I'm talking about at that point, that would have been a bad look for the realm if you just killed everybody up front in front of all these people.
I mean, she killed like 60, 70 people just coming out the ground. So, I mean, niggas was dying already.
Right, but I'm talking about the upper part of the label.
The only thing that saved her was that old girl that came to old girl came to that damn room earlier and was like, I'm sorry about your daughter and your son and this, that, and the third. And then she pulled that walk in front of them shit. If that does not happen, she burns the fuck out of everybody. I guarantee it.
But she also put up on game, though. Rhaenyra's put up on game. She was like, you've been getting pimped this whole time. Like, you've been, you talk about all this honor and stuff, but where's your honor?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, she got it together. I mean, she tied her up, but
I'm wondering, do you think they're gonna flip her to make her a sympathetic character and have her like die on some sympathetic shit and like change up this whole the way it is to keep her sympathetic?
You talking about Rhaenys?
No, Alicent.
I hope
and
not.
have her not even go down the road that the books have her go down, but like have her a sympathetic death of something that earlier in the timeline that you could say she has sympathetic death.
So I think she's still going to go down.
I don't know if she's going to die.
Still...
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if she's going to die. We don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, she might not die next week, but at some, if it stick to the books, at some point, she get out. Yeah,
well, I'm saying everybody dies. I was trying not to give you spoilers, but I had to push back on sleep a little bit.
Ain't no spoilers. It ain't no spoilers, Pruitt. There's 3 Targaryens when we see regular Game of Thrones. There ain't no spoilers.
Listen, I was doing my best. I got to push back on
There's
sleep.
3 Targaryens, and one we find out about season 8.
I think that Rhaenys would have killed Alicent if all her kids weren't there. I think Rhaenys spared her because of the sympathy or the sympathy she could show as a mother, because she believes she lost all of her children. I think had it just been Otto and Alicent there, it'd have been Rap City, or even Aegon. But to murder a mother and all of her children there, I think that was a bridge too far for Rhaenys, and she wasn't willing to do it. And I think that's why she made him scream, because she kind of gave her that look like, this would have went differently. Because I mean, let's not forget, Rhaenys was a badass in her own right. Like, she wasn't no punk.
She bad.
So it's not like she didn't have. She has blood on her hands, so she's about that life. I think that if the mother thing is what spared Alex at that moment.
No, I agree. And what's fucked up, all the kids weren't even there. She could have burned them up, and one nigga would have been reading books somewhere. Like, damn, everybody dead. That'd have been fucked up. Oh, they mentioned ravens too. My nigga finally they mentioned the ravens.
Well, the internet's popping now.
My nigga said send out the ravens and let them know that Aegon will be king. I was like, damn.
The world star is here now.
It's gonna be
What how'd y'all think of Aegon? Aegon started to feel a little bit after he got that crown.
He wasn't loved. He didn't think his father loved him, but his mother does not love him. She just wanted him to be king. Like, he was like, Mom, do you love me? She called him an imbecile.
Yeah, she did.
So you think she loves any of her kids?
She loves her daughter.
Definitely.
She loves her daughter.
And she knows how to show enough love to Aemond for him not to wild out.
Yeah.
And I think she loves the youngest boy, the one you said that went to Bravos too, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure she used to love Aegon, but Aegon is such a disappointment. Like, Aegon is like, she been telling this nigga since he was 2, you're gonna be king. At some point, you're gonna be king. And this motherfucker ain't studied shit. He ain't been doing shit. Even when he was young, he was jacking off out the window. Like, this nigga's a deviant. Like, this nigga has shown that he is not competent to be king. But when it's like when a whack nigga pledge a frat and he probate, and that applause, even if all the applause ain't for him, and then that motherfucker think he the shit after that.
This might be the clip right here. This might be the clip.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, a nigga that you like, this nigga been whack since high school. And this nigga pop up with the jack. And I'm a frat guy too. I'm in a frat. But everybody ain't cool that be in a frat sometimes. It be some niggas that, and now,
oh shit! So Aemond's crown was a Aegon's crown was a probate.
Yes, that nigga he crossed, and he like, I'm the shit now. Like, at first they slow clapped his ass. Niggas wasn't even cheering at first. It was like, this nigga, but then Christian Cole had to say it again, the king, and then finally it was like, yeah. Like,
was it because Christian Cole got respect in the streets?
No, I mean, Christian Cole will kill your ass.
But no, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. He has respect in the streets.
Yeah.
Like, the street dude respects him.
It's a situation like this nigga is really the king. We need to fucking be nice to this nigga. Like, I think that's what happened.
Okay.
Like, they realized this shit was really happening. Like, for a while, motherfuckers was like, what the fuck is going on? There was always a delay before any chair. Niggas had to be like, are they for real? Are they bullshitting? Like, niggas had to get like,
they looking around whispering to each other.
Like, they for real?
Yeah, everybody's looking around whispering to each other like,
When did this nigga get online?
It's like a probate. God.
No,
damn.
you've been Daryl. You've been to some where you like this nigga playing. Why they pick him? Like you done been there. I know you have. I know not this nigga. God. But then it's like fuck it. Hey, that nigga dude. He spit history right. That raising of the sword was like him doing his step. When that sword went up, they were really excited. Like, whoa, this nigga real. It's really happening. And then he felt it. He was like, they love me.
Because Blackfire is Daemon's sword. What's that sword? Is it Storm?
Stormbreaker?
Yeah, it's his sword is named something though too. The King sword. But because he ain't gonna use this shit because he ain't about that life like that.
No, he got a ceremonial sword. His sword is decorative.
So this is a ceremonial deck. They're having a ceremonial paddle.
No, I mean seriously. Even his crown was some shit. They gave this nigga all the hardest props to make him look kingly. They're like, we're gonna pull out Aegon the Conqueror's crown. We're gonna pull out this sword. Like Viserys didn't even have this. I mean, Viserys didn't even carry that shit around. This nigga, they pulled out like, we got to go in the back and get the good shit for him. More so, not because he deserves it, to like make him look credible. We need to make him look like the guy. Because Aemond looks more like a king too. This nigga baby faced, hair fucked up. He got black eye. His clothes don't fit. Aemond be walking to that motherfucker like he went to the tailor. That nigga shit be fitting. He in good shape.
And look, and people don't know he got a ruby for his eye now.
You'll find out next. I thought that was a sapphire.
Oh yeah, I mean, he bezeled up. I'm saying he bezeled up for his eye though. Right. Like I'm going with Sleepy saying though, he bezeled up. Even when his eye being gone, he bezeled up on you. Like, oh, I ain't got no eye, but it's bezeled up.
Did y'all trip how Aegon? Did y'all trip how bitch and Cole? He had to put the crown on a certain way because it didn't actually fit. It was too big for his head. It didn't fit. He had to angle it.
Yep. And I hope that motherfucking throne fuck his ass up like it was doing his daddy.
Yep. When he sit on it, let that motherfucker prick his ass.
Because if you're not worthy of the throne will show you who need to be on it.
But the regular Game of Thrones didn't really punch into that as much because Cersei sound that motherfucker and they loved it. It loved her.
You know what? Cersei wasn't a bad. It doesn't always pick the person who should be king. It just picks a person that could be king or queen.
Okay, I got you.
Like
it doesn't mean it's the best king. It doesn't mean it's the king.
But you need to have at least some king qualities. Cersei, fucked up as she was, really was trying to do shit for the realm. What she thought, she like, I'm gonna stop all these other. There was uprisings everywhere. She's like, I'm gonna stop all these other uprisings. These motherfuckers trying to. I'm gonna kill all my enemies, so I can focus on this bitch with the dragons. I don't mean to call her that, but that's what how Cersei felt. She's like, if I kill all these people in this court, I can focus on the real issue. It's a chick with dragons coming for me. And y'all,
and I know it's real though, because we heard about it season 1. Now I know it's official. I done got multiple people that have
several people that said these dragons is real and they grown. These ain't baby dragons no more. These is full grown dragons. So she like, I got to get
and the money was messed up. And Cersei had them accounts was a little bit slow.
Oh yeah,
the money was funny. So she was really
trying to get business. Castle Rocket ran out of gold mines. The gold mines ran out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Castle Rock was done. They was out of gold. And they mentioned that too. Castle Rock is now helping pay for the kingdom.
Right, but that's the funny thing is that Castle Rock's new money though goes back to one of our first episodes. We talk about they found that gold mine. Them Lannisters weren't popping. They found a little lick, and they like, oh, we now we good. We be good business. What's up?
Oh, she was like, is the gold good? Is the money good? Or I guess Otto was like, he like, yeah, we split everything up, everything good. I was like, okay. Y'all in there now. Because Corlys and them been at war for the last 12 years. I'm sure money dry. I hate to say it, their money drying up. They're not able to do what they normally do. He been away fighting for like 7 years. So, The Lannisters snuck in when they could. They said, it's our time. Let me slide on in.
But man, there's so much new money. And it's funny because if you're just coming to Game of Thrones, they would give you the thing of like, oh, we always had bread.
That's how it be. If you tell a lot long enough, it becomes the truth.
Because that's the feel that they give you, like, oh man, we always had bread. And then you find out here, you like, hold on. Y'all ain't had bread for 100 some years. Y'all ain't bred up. The Starks more breaded up than y'all. They the first men.
Yeah, the Starks got more authentic juice. Yes, they are the first men. There ain't no money up north though.
Right, ain't no money, but I'm saying, but their money consistent though. They ain't gonna never make a whole bunch, but they gonna always have money. They gonna always have and then fur trapping always gonna be good. They always gonna be able to get whatever they got out there going. But Castle Rock, they found that. Remember, they found that gold like a little bit before after Aegon came.
They lucked up. Yes, they lucked up. And it took them a long time to refine it. They just now really starting to flex with money.
But the funny thing is that then they overexerted it. Like they kept hitting it so hard and not let it replenish. Like, the natural resource aspect of it.
They were damn near broke when the Mad King was in power. Like the shit was getting low. By the time Robert took over, 10 years into Robert being, they borrowing money from Essos. Like they like by season 3 of Game of Thrones, we find out that actually I take that back. Littlefinger hinted in that shit in season 1 when Ned took over as the hand that the money funny. He didn't say why it was funny, but he hinted like we're not bringing in the taxes that we used to. So I mean, the money was drying up in season 1 of Game of Thrones. By season 5, them niggas is broke. Ain't no more gold.
So my whole thing is like, was the mines real? Like I feel like there could be
it's not an unlimited supply. Natural resources have a limit.
Yep.
You get an oil field, that shit don't last forever. Eventually, it's gonna run out.
And they was making it rain too, though. They weren't even. They was making it rain.
They gave Viserys this fucking gaudy ass bullshit to kill the damn deer with. It wasn't even like it's not even a sword that you would use for that, for real. They gave him a whole ceremonial.
Somebody come to your birthday party, man. Hey man, here go brand new Harley, man. Be like, dude, I just asked for a motherfucking little moped for me to get to work.
Think I don't even know how to ride a motorcycle. You think
He's out Kanye.
Yeah. Hey, we bought you a jetpack, bruh. Some Nikes would have been cool. Like, why? I'm afraid of heights.
Cool. You bought me a jetpack.
I'm afraid of heights. Why would you bring me a jetpack? Like, what am I do with this? My mama let me ride that bike, but I got a jetpack. But man, the count. Who is this black dude that looked like Gandhi on the council? I ain't never seen him. Has he always been on the council?
No.
Nah, he hadn't.
Did he pop up in the last couple episodes? Because I'm like, who is this nigga?
No, he's been there for a little bit, just kind of around. He was one of the people treating his wounds, doing a couple different things.
I didn't think he was on the council. I thought this nigga was like a doctor or some shit. Like,
yeah. At first, I thought he was. I thought it was gonna be more gangster. The Valerians was all black. That the Masons was all black. Everything. I thought it was gonna be a Nation of Islam and Valeria. That's what I thought it was gonna be. Because when I first saw him, I was like, "Oh shit! It's a black maester." The Valerians and the Nation of Islam. They got everything is all black, and they made him marry a white woman and bring a white woman in.
Cause my dude,
did you see?
He was soft as hell.
Valerian? You seen a black Valerian? I mean, a white Valerian? Nope.
No, I mean, hey, going forward, they about to be white until they.
Yeah. Shout out to Kanye West. He already know how it is though when you get your kids all mixed up in the game.
Oh my god, we're not gonna talk about them. But I thought this episode it's setting the table for the next episode. I think the season finale gonna be something. Like I'm already knowing.
Predictions as we roll out predictions for the last episode. Pruitt, I'm gonna go with you first. Your predictions last episode. What do you think?
Well, obviously we're gonna get Rhaenys talking to Rhaenyra. I think we'll probably get a scene very similar to when Jon Snow showed up to Dragonstone, and they talked about the potential war efforts, and they ultimately decided to try to get a peace treaty with Cersei.
Okay.
I think they're going to have a play on that. That's going to go very differently, and so I think that's one of the predictions I make. I also think that Helena is going to give us another prophecy that's probably not going to be played out into season 2. And lastly, I think that I think Corlys is going to come back because he's been out 2 episodes, and Alicent already said that he came back mortally wounded, if not dead. So I think that we're going to find out that he's still around, and then he's going to lend his support renewed to Daemon, and that's going to play out in some way. And I don't think we're going to get an actual dragon and dragon battle. I think we're going to get a lead up to a dragon and dragon battle.
Sleep.
Definitely, she's finna go snitch. Absolutely, she's snitching. She dropping quick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw the old leader of the Kingsguard too. At first, I thought they hung him, but then I saw them. I saw they were in like a room moving shit around on a map, and I thought his ass was in there too. I was like, oh shit, my nigga jumped ship too. So we'll see. Sometimes sometimes people be looking alike. Let me not say white people. That's racist. Sometimes folks be looking alike. So
if they're not your culture, it's an easy way it's a general thing. If they're not your culture, you don't differentiate different people sometimes.
Because I saw somebody hanging, and I thought that was him hanging at first.
Well, no, that's the guy that tried to leave early.
That's the old boy that tried to dip out. He was going to go snitch. He was leaving quick.
Hold on, stop. Was he going to snitch?
Bro.
Or was he just trying to get out of Dallas because he was going to go down?
He was going to 100%.
But because he said, I already pledged allegiance to something else before.
Bro, listen. He was one of the ones. He was the last one to take the knee. When they took the first 2 out, they took the lady and the dude out. He finally was like, fuck it, I'll take the knee. That's self-preservation. He took the knee to not get put in jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as soon as they let him out that joint, he was going to go ride to his people and be like, these niggas is tripping. And we not doing that. Yeah, I broke my oath for fake, but we still were Rhaenyra. Like he was going to get out of there. He was getting out of there.
But couldn't he have figured out a better way instead of trying to go
about to be Rico from Belly. He's about to be Rico from Belly with that banana. He's about to drop down immediately.
So listen, they were so busy. If the snitching club wouldn't have seen him, he would have got out. He actually left at a good time. They were so busy trying to plan this coronation. He was just waiting for the gate to open up. He might have went outside too early. He was in the car too early. He should have just waited a couple hours till the gate was opened up and then snuck out. Because he was on that.
He should have waited to the actual coronation. And
no, they got everybody in the whole King's Landing.
They pushed everybody in there.
Got rounded up, so you wasn't getting out of town then. So he was just about 10 minutes too early. But Clubfoot was watching him. He saw him kneel last. And was like, man, I keep my eye on him. He on some bullshit, and was right. Like he went to Otto like, you might want to watch old boy.
Hey, they say game recognize game, snitches recognize snitches.
Yeah. So also, I will say this: wasn't no Starks in King's Landing.
I was gonna say that, Sleep. I was gonna say that.
The North just got done fighting the Civil War, so they all back home.
Yep.
The Starks obviously won, but they just got done dealing with some people while they was away trying to take over. So they just
look, and the Starks feel some type of way that nobody fucking showed up to fuck with nobody, helped nobody either. Though.
Yep. And the Starks feel some kind of way that King's Landing didn't send their support. Because again, Viserys is the peaceful. If it ain't involved in he ain't getting involved. Handle that yourself. But Cregan Stark has already bit the knee to Rhaenyra.
Right. Yep. And he gonna honor that. Fucking Starks the fucking honorable motherfucker.
The Starks don't break fucking oaths.
You're not oath breakers now.
That's right.
Hey man, the Starks are fucking good fucking white folks, dog.
The Starks is the most purest people in Game of Thrones, in all honesty.
100%. To their detriment or not, like straight up.
Like that fucking Raven gonna show up, and if it's anything like the book, Cregan gonna be like, gather the banners. We march to Dragonstone, and he ain't marching to fucking fight her. He marching to fucking be with her ass.
And
He
look,
like
and them furs is popping, nigga. They already they out. They coming for, and they battle tested all the time. They
fight
keeping the
up north all
wildlings
the
down.
Yeah,
time.
yeah, they got the
They
hands.
Wellston. They
Yeah, they got-
the north is Wellston. It's
Yeah,
constant
they
battles
got
in Wellston.
It's roasted.
Yeah, they got the hands. The north.
So hold on, for our listeners that are not from St. Louis, we have a lot of listeners around here. Wherever you're from, I mean, Wellston would be your Bronx for New York people, your Little Haiti for Miami people, your Wild Hunnets for Chicago people.
Do you know Wellston is technically a county?
Yeah.
Wellston is the toughest county I ever seen. I mean, these niggas is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
this nigga is the South Side.
I want to say, I guess Compton for LA, Fifth Ward, Houston. I'm trying to get people the Magnolia projects. That's what he was saying when he said basically that's what he's saying.
Listen, I'm not moving to Wellston. The Wellston, I'm not battle tested enough to move there. They gonna see me a mile away, be like, he's grown soft. We will get to him. 20 years ago, possibly, but at 40, I don't want to drive through Wellston. No, just to Wellston. It's a Wellston. My bad. But the North is, but they're honorable too. He took the knee. He pledged his oath. He ain't breaking it. Everybody else in that room broke their oaths, except two people got took out. One nigga did. He crossed his fingers. He said, "I'm not. I'm breaking my oath, but for real, I'm not. I'm just gonna get up out of here and go home." Cause once as soon as I get to the house, he should have got a raven. See, that's what he should have did. Truth be told. But maybe everybody ain't got raven.
It's like an email early. Like he didn't have the situation email set up.
It's like how it's how Facebook, everybody didn't have one at first.
Yeah, he didn't have that set up yet.
Because I'm sitting here like, why didn't you just go to your guy and because he had people there, I'm sure. Yeah. Why come you didn't go to your people and just send a raven?
Right, but that still didn't get him out
there. Just send one of your people out, just like, hey, they're going out to grab some stuff or whatever. Some of my best wines I love is out here in this, and send them back.
He work on a good lie, nothing. I was like, so why you leaving? The nigga was just quiet. I'm like, oh, nigga, you can't leave. You can't leave.
He should have had a brothel run. That's what he should. His story should have been brothel run. I mean, look, I'm just waiting around. You know, might as well hit up this brothel real quick. Nobody really know me around here. You know, see what the local.
Hey, I'm so stressed out, y'all. Putting people in jail. I can't go get one off real quick.
Right, that's the story.
The king gone. The new king ain't even here. Y'all don't even know what the new king at. He got his off.
Maybe I can find him where I'm going.
The best lie is always something that makes you look bad. You know what I'm saying? The best lie is always going to make you look bad.
Well, man, next week we are at the final. So, man, what's messed up is next season not till 2024.
That's a long time. Summer 2024 at that. I'm like, damn.
Man.
I mean,
I'm
assuming they're saying it's gonna be only. I'm assuming that maybe it's only 2 seasons then.
No, I think they changed it to 4 actually. I saw something online. It looked like it was official HBO that it's gonna be 4 seasons.
Okay.
Man, that's no time away. I mean, it's already just almost Thanksgiving in 2022.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's less than 2 years because this
and what they do takes a long time too if you're gonna do it right, because the base is fucking a movie every fucking episode. If you talking about, especially with dragons, maybe they thought about like, dude, we are in a situation where dragons are going to be involved at all times, and they might be shooting 2 seasons at one time.
Season 2 is going to be dragging up.
This dragon shit, all these special effects for what's going on.
Season 2 is going to be dragging the fuck up. But what's going to happen next episode? While these niggas is planning, Daemon like, fuck what y'all talking about. We need to go to war. And I'm going to go, they're going to be like, but maybe we shouldn't. And he going to be like, I'll be right back. He going to creep his ass. He going to put that hood on. When Daemon put the hood on, shit getting real.
Shout out to Blood G.
And he's going to come back with a new big joker. You thought this nigga had the big joker. Look what I got. Dog, we going to see this dragon in this episode. I heard him growl earlier. I rewatched the episode right before we got on. Daemon is in some dark shit looking for something, and he's singing a little lullaby or doing some shit. And I heard that. I was like, he getting him. I ain't gonna give it up till y'all see him. But that day, Daemon finna come back with something He coming back with the Aemond stopper. He's like, I can kill Aemond with this
Amen,
sword.
stopper.
He say, I can kill Aemond with a sword, but if he got this dragon, I might be outclassed. He got a tank. I just got a Suburban. He's gonna come back with some. He's gonna come back with some real shit. When you see this dragon, hey, here's what I know. When you see the shit Damon finna pop up with, he finna pop up with the new. You're gonna be like, this dragon just been chilling.
Motherfucker too.
You're gonna be like, how did he know what this dragon was and why he just ain't never got him before? But why
because this dragon is wild though too, Pruitt. Like this dragon is wild. Like this, like I'm going to go get a wild horse.
Yeah, and I understand that Damon was probably like, this is just a dire need. They march in the Dragonstone. They finna try to kill my niece wife, and they're gonna have to kill my kids. They're gonna have to kill my kids and her kids, and they finna like you gotta wipe everybody off the board if you come to Dragonstone. You can't just let Daemon live, because if Daemon gonna be like, you can't just kill Rhaenys and leave Daemon, because Daemon gonna be like, nigga, I should be king. Let's fucking go.
Easier situation.
So you got to kill both of them and all their kids, like all of them, black kids, white kids, whatever kids. Everybody got to go, because she's not gonna trust Alicent or Otto. Alicent really don't want to kill them in the TV show. She really like, let's just get them to say we abdicate our claim, and they can go to Essos or Bravo some damn where and be fine. In the books, it's not like that. But for the show purpose, she on some her father wouldn't want her to die type shit.
I have a question for you. So a question for you. So what do you think is, let's say Alicent from the show, you know, the one, I don't want to kill her, just banish them. What do you think Alicent would do with their dragons? Let's say Rhaenyra was willing to do it, do you think she would let them keep their dragons? Or you think okay.
Hell no. They keeping them dragons. You can't just have motherfuckers. They got like 5-6 dragons.
No,
they got more dragons than them.
That's what I was asking.
Damon them got more dragons than them.
No, that's what I was asking. I was like, well, maybe, like, how would that play out? Like, how should she expect her to abdicate the throne or her claim to the throne, and then also give up all her dragons? Like, that's a big ask.
That's a huge ask.
It's a hell of an ego thing. It's an ego thing to be like, you know what? You got more tools, but you should just advocate to this guy just because he got here first.
Right.
Yeah, no. And truth be told, on paper, there are more houses aligned with the Greens on paper. But the houses that's with the black is for motherfuckers. My nigga Samuel Blackwood coming back, baby. He grown.
Hey, no. That was my prediction. I was saying
Samuel
you're gonna see little Samuel putting in work, because they had skirmishes before everything really jumps off. I think in season 2, where it really becomes like a real war, I think a little skirmish is gonna pop up. You're gonna see Samuel Blackwell put it in work a little bit.
Samuel, he battle tested. Now he killed the nigga at 10. He not up north, but he close to the north. Like, if you north adjacent, it's still rough up there too.
Yeah,
like, my man.
He's for the river runs, right? He for the river runs, right?
It ain't peaceful up there. They dealing with bandits and all kind of shit. So Samuel,
he be in his late 20s by now, right?
Samuel grown as fuck now.
Yeah, Samuel got kids.
Samuel got kids. He done killed some motherfuckers. Like, he probably got a few bastards. Like, Samuel is grown.
They still been at war with the other family on the low. On some low key shit, the family he killed.
Oh yeah, they've been beefing
on the low. Nobody knows about it. It's just been the border to border battle.
They've been on some Hatfield McCoy shit. Like, they houses just don't like each other. So like hey, listen, this motherfucker. If he anything like he was in the book, because he actually is in the book.
Yeah.
He's somebody you want on your team too. So again, house-wise, the Greens is stacked up. Like, they got sheer numbers of people and troops.
They got money.
And they got the Lannister money. They got King's Landing. They got the 7. Like, they got everything on paper other than dragons. But then he got the big ass dragon too. So most people, you would think, most people like, just fuck it. We with the greens. But then when them black motherfuckers start popping out, boy, bet on black. They got some dogs.
And because they got the motherfucking LeBron James of the goddamn whole board. So this is like everybody, think about it, Pruitt, like if you had a team that had a 3 All-Stars, but you had LeBron at 26, but you got to play them in the finals, and he just uplifts everyone to this next level.
They the Cavs, when the Cavs beat Golden State.
There you go. There you go. That's it. That's it, Sleep.
Because the Green,
you can't tell me Damon's not that though, Sleep. Because he literally looked everybody, everything, and people start putting their banners towards him when they saw he was coming through wrecking shop.
Listen,
and he was going on Dolo missions too, Pruitt. Dolo missions.
Damon, when Damon popped up with this fucking dragon, niggas is like, oh shit, we over. Literally, it's gonna be people who was on the fence because it's always people on the fence. It's always like, I'm just Switzerland. I ain't gonna choose nobody. Niggas gonna see Damon flying over shit and be like, what the fuck is that? Oh, he coming from Dragonstone. Like it.
I wonder how close Damon and Aemond are going to be in the upcoming series to what they were in the books.
The biggest adversaries you ever seen in the TV.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I want how much of that they're going to keep. How much of that inner dynamic they're going to keep.
Oh, I mean, Aemond has been wanting to be Damon for a long time. To me, he has Aemond, he has Damon energy. Damon ain't forgot that this nigga Aemond be fucking with Rhaenyra's kids and shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like if he could have killed that nigga that day at dinner, he wanted Aemond to pull his sword, and Aemond was like, you know what? I ain't gonna even do it.
I ain't ready yet. I ain't ready yet. He knew he wasn't ready yet.
He wasn't
ready.
But
if he'd have pulled the sword, David would have had no problem. You know, fuck it. Fuck it. That's my wife and her kids. You're not finna wild out. David's gonna be the man. Rhaenyra in this TV show wants peace. They gonna have to talk her into war. I see it already. She like, if I do this, I'm gonna plunge the whole kingdom into war. Damon in the scene was like, they are coming for our family. They have taken everything from you. Like Damon giving her a fucking Phil Jackson speech. They've taken like David. If I didn't like Damon before, I'm about to really like Damon a lot. But I always have. But this is the Damon. Family protector Damon is a different motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a different Damon you saw earlier though. This at least if they do it, he's gonna be the Damon. You can be like, oh, this motherfucker is a different dude.
And Damon low key think they killed his brother. Damon low key think they killed him.
But my problem with the story they told right now, Aemond isn't ready to be a rival to Damon yet. So they still have to build up. It's gonna need some time.
Aemond's gonna build himself up, no doubt.
Right, but But I'm saying what we've seen so far, there's such a big gap between them as of now.
Oh, it's gonna be like Steph versus LeBron.
By middle of season 2.
I know it's in the books, but I'm just saying that I'm wondering. My question really boils down to is how long do you think it's gonna be before they show that close a gap between them?
Season 3.
Yeah,
season 3.
I think we're gonna see Aemond. Aemond had victory after victory after victory. We're gonna see Aemond on some Rob Stark shit where Aemond just winning and winning and winning. Because again, on paper, the Greens should win. Like it's gonna take a long time for the blacks to come back. The Greens finna be on.
James gonna beat Golden State. And I mean I won't spoil anything for mine, but he's gonna win it. Beat Golden State and get a ring when nobody thought he could get a ring.
It's gonna be to the point where about right. He's gonna be down 3. It's gonna be 1-3.
Yep, and he gonna pull it out.
And Damon gonna do what he did with the crab eater and have to do a hell. Damon loves some Hail Mary shit. Damon love, hey, we about to die and somebody got to do it type shit. Like, guess it's got to be me. Like that's Damon. I guess it's got to be me. But we're not gonna see that next episode. We probably won't see that.
We'll see that for a minute.
We'll see the big dragon. They probably won't unveil that big ass dragon to the end of the episode. I feel like that'll be the last 5 minutes. We're gonna see Damon creeping and doing Damon shit, and he's gonna be singing. And then we might see the dragon eye, but that eye gonna be big. I think it won't even be the full dragon. We might just see this nigga eye, and you're gonna be like, That's a big ass eye. Like, who is that? That's what I would do. I would leave us in suspense.
Yep, and you don't even see him till later on till he riding in a battle with him.
That would be like episode 4 of the next season. I wouldn't even let you see that nigga in episodes 1, 2, and 3. It'd just be fucking sword fighting and shit. And Aemond burning shit up. I'll let you see Aemond showing his big ass.
We've seen Vhagar a whole bunch. We know what Vhagar is about.
I want to see. They're gonna show Vhagar tearing up houses. Vhagar come through 20,000 motherfuckers dead. Like Vhagar, he ain't no joke. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck are they gonna do? We gonna forget about the eye. And out of nowhere, Daemon ass gonna fly the Dragonstone, and you're gonna be like, oh shit. This nigga got some new shit. That's that new Lexus.
That bubble ride.
You know how Jay-Z be talking shit? You got the, you flexing with, and I pull up with that. Daemon gonna pull up with that, and you're gonna be like, well,
that 4.6 bumping some other shit.
Yes. I didn't know if everybody knew Jay-Z lyrics, so I wasn't gonna go too far deep into it. But yes. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay. I say that for about episode 4 or 5. I make them look like the blacks about to lose. Every episode to be the blacks taking the L. If I was doing Game of Thrones, yep. I want the people to be like, these weak motherfuckers, and then I just want, because the Starks still ain't done really fighting. They still actually, the Civil War's still going on right now. It doesn't really kick off until after Rhaenys declares that she's gonna go for the throne, and that still take about a year before they actually even able to. They got to heal up.
It took them another year too to mobilize. Even
they had to heal up. So we won't see the Starks to about season 3, for real, if they do this right. Again, the Greens are going to win a lot. It's going to be a lot of Greens. There's a lot of Greens on the board, and then out of nowhere, you're just going to see a whole bunch of black shit popping up.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up though. We'll be back next week. Next week is gonna be full house. We're gonna have full house. We're gonna have predictions for next season.
Are we in the?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do it here. I don't know. We got it offline. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right.
Next week's gonna be crazy, regardless, and we will see y'all soon.
See y'all soon. Peace.